you never forget your first drop.
Reinforcements inbound. Hang tight, demons.
Hello, everybody. I am Michael Huber, joined by none other than Casper Van Dien. We are here, Starship Troopers hype. Before we even start, I got to show you this from my childhood.
All right.
Like, I used to watch this in the back of my mother's car with my brother. I've got the PSP version of Starship Troopers.
Oh, wow.
The UMD disc. We used to just watch it in the back of the car, like portable handheld.
Oh my God, I have not seen one of these.
No way.
I have not seen one of these. Yeah, I think I've seen the cover. I've not seen the actual disc.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. It looks like the little disc that we put in Starship Troopers. It actually looks like that. That's pretty awesome. Look at it, it's got Resident Evil in there and Triple X and Bad Boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? That's a new kind of enemy. That's great. If you got a pen, I'll sign this before you go. Yeah.
You're too kind. Too kind.
That needs to be signed.
Yes.
We'll put this back here with this decoration right here.
It feels right.
Yeah.
First up, what keeps bringing you back to this franchise?
I think it's that Paul Verhoeven and Ed Neumeyer, who wrote Starship Troopers and RoboCop and directed, I think their sense and sensibility, their creativeness, their sick, perverse satire, their incredible filmmakers, they're both geniuses. I think that they can make a film that has a political commentary that is still, unfortunately, still relevant today, maybe even more so today than it was at the time, but it was then too. So, I think when you can make something like that that can get both the left and the right to fight for saying that this is their movie and that they can then give reasons and there can be a discussion without it being a bloody murder or anything like that, it's, it has that kind, it just has legs. People still watch this movie and they still are confused by it. Well, not as much anymore. They're less confused as they were back in the day when it first came out, when the satire went over a lot of people's heads. But I think when you make a movie that still holds up to this day, that I'm still doing things 28 years later, I think that's what, I think it's them.
When did you know that it was just going to be this absolute pop culture classic? I mean, like you said, 28 years later, we still talk about this movie and this franchise.
Well, when Starship Troopers came out, when I first saw it, before it came out in the premiere and everything, I saw it in the theater, I was like, oh, this is going to be so huge. This satire is unbelievable. And then when people missed it when it first came out and it went over their head, I was like, what? I just was so confused, and I think that people didn't know what to really accept at that time. And now the audiences are all like, the kids come up to me today, when they come to me at a con, they're like 17, 18-year-old kids. They go, I just watched Starship Troopers, and there's no way anybody missed that satire. And I go, yeah, you'd think, you would think, but unfortunately, they did.
What is it like, because you're a huge part of this game, what's it like being the one guiding the player? I mean, we are just doing missions for you, and just personally as a fan, I think that's so thrilling, so awesome, but what do you think about that?
Okay, so when I got to do the voiceover for this, I was blown away. I got to do more dialogue in this than I did all the movies combined. So that for me was unbelievable. But when I started doing all the dialogue with him, I was like, oh my God, it's written just like Ed Neumeyer wrote. And I read all of his scripts. I mean, for Starship Troopers 3, there were 7 scripts. I read all 7 of them. So I would go back and tell him which lines you should put back in or suggest. I'd be like, oh, this was a great line for this character. But I think that when I'm guiding people in this, and I just watched it for the first time today, I think it's awesome because I'm playing right now the 16 person. I'm getting out there. I'm a little confused sometimes with it because it's intense. But I love the camaraderie, and you have to work with the teams. If you don't, you're going to die because you need all 16 to fight the bugs when the horde comes, and you need to have engineers to build it. You need to have the medic. You need to have all the different people. So when you get to go do a small excursion with me to learn lessons and everything, to become a better trooper, and you still earn things to have more when you go out there that you might need, then that experience, I think, is invaluable. And I'm glad to be a part of that. And I want to actually go play with me. I want to play with myself in the game. Oh, it's just getting worse, isn't it? I want
I'll bail you out.
Okay.
Rico, just this iconic character. I mean, how protective of Rico are you, and how much input did you have in the character?
So Rico's been somebody that is he's been a part of my life now for 28 years, and it's every day. I mean, my kids have always heard people yelling at me, going, come on, you apes want to live forever. Oh my God, what are you doing here? Hey, I watched that movie with my dad. I watched that movie with my, my best friend, and he's no longer with us. I joined the military because all these different things that I get. It's always that's invaluable. That's incredible. It's humbling, and it's great experience. So I love being Rico. I love what he signed up for with that innocence, the purity. Signed up for a girl, and then becoming really good at the military, finding where he's good at. And then just knowing that that's what he's good at doing. And then I like the arc that we had in the movies a little bit. He started having an arc, and I like that. And now this movie has really completed that arc where he is still, he's a general now, and he's really one of the best at what he does how to do. And but he cares more about his troopers than he does the actual Federation. He cares about the Federation, but he cares more about the people. They matter more. And he's a little bit more jaded, so he has a little bit more, he's more protective of them. So this is an opportunity for me to be that for the players. And I like in the game that people do come back. Like if somebody's down and they're bleeding out, you can go back, revive them or stim them, and you'll have them for later, which you need, but also you will get, sometimes they'll reward you with some stuff. So there's benefits to it. And I like that better than other games where they leave him behind, like, whatever, he sucked. I never liked that. I never liked that in any game. And my daughter always laughs because when I play games, I go back to try to help people in any game. She's like, Dad, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to go, no, but we got to help them. She's like, Dad, you can't help those people. And because my daughter's really good at the games. But this game, you want to. And it doesn't matter. Even if you might die, if you do it, you're doing it for a higher sacrifice, and it's awesome. It's just so much fun.
Love that you say that. I do the same thing, and then I end up usually dying, just going back for him, and then it's like
But this game is about everybody trying to pull together, and if you get in with the group and you get with a good group and you follow with them, and when you go for extraction afterwards, you go together as a group. That's the best chance you're going to have of making it. It's when people go out singularly that they're gonna. And I've tried all. I'm not going to say that I was doing it right the first time.
You're Rico.
I am Rico. Yeah, I'm Rico. I got that 35 in the math score for an apparent reason, I guess.
What are the advantages or disadvantages working on a video game as opposed to a movie?
Okay, so when I did the movie, we shot at dirt. And now when I'm shooting this video game, as soon as I got in, I was seeing all the bugs and the hordes come because these guys are already put it all in. So the advantage was I'm already in the movie. And when you're in this, I'm acting like I'm in the movie, so I'm in the movie. But when you see it, you're like, holy shit. And now when I'm watching the game, right away, I'm like, holy shit. Like, oh my God, yeah, that is it. So I've always wanted this. I've always wanted to see the game. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, you guys need to make a video game. And they're like, what? Well, you did a movie, buddy. Don't worry about it. They weren't really ready for that. And we weren't ready to make a video game like this. And what they've done with Carnage, which is you're killing the bugs, they pile up and then they start falling over on each other. And when you kill them, they stay there. So even if you leave and you come back, they're still there. You have to blow them up or burn them, or you leave them there and you can get on top of them. To me, that's when I was playing games before, when I was younger, I was playing, you kill somebody, they disappear. And I think they still do. But that's never been realistic, and now you're going to see what it's like to have it, and it's awesome to actually have to deal with it. People might not understand that yet, but as soon as they play, they're going to go, this is so cool.
What was your favorite memory from working on the game? Do you have a favorite thing you did or a day in the studio?
So I went to the studio. I was hanging out with the Off-World, and I went around to each person, each of their desks and their computers, and they were showing me what they did and telling me what their part in the thing was. And then so I would tell them a story about Starship because I'm a little bit insane and I talk a lot. And I would go, oh, well, this happened, and this happened behind scenes. And they go, I'm going to put that in. Every single one of them said that. And they put things in that like were behind the scenes or like little tributes to the movie. And they even had other ones that were already in there, like they have the Watkins trigger, which was when Sugar Watkins at the end goes, I go, what are you trying to do? He goes, I'm just trying to kill some bugs, sir. And he blows himself up with the nuke. Well, if you're dying and you're bleeding out and everybody's over there and the bugs are swarming you, you can pull the Watkins trigger, and they named it after him.
Way.
And they did it without me. So I'm like, look at these little details. That's not something. It wasn't called the Watkins trigger in the movie. It was just a nuke. But the Watkins trigger in this is because of what he did, his sacrifice for the Federation. And it's throughout the whole game. You will see things like that, and you will go, no fucking way. Oh my God, it's so cool. So people that know the movie will know that. People that go back and watch the movie are going to go, oh my God, that's this. And which is, I think, such a huge tribute. But they did it for all 5 movies. They did it for all of them. They combined things. And the things that in the 4 predecessors, the 4 movies that came after the first, which was, I think, a perfect movie as you can make. But the other 4, they had things. We didn't have enough budget. We didn't have enough time. We didn't have enough money. We didn't have enough, visual effects, whatever we wanted to do. They were able to fix in this game and make it like what we could have done if it was a movie. Like if I ever made the series like this, what we've talked about for years is making a live action series of it. I would want these people involved because they would be, they got it. Peter, all the people, the whole team, I was just so blown away with it. So my favorite memory was the people behind the game that made it, because they all had toys up on their games, the old board games, the old books, the old games from Johnny Rico dolls from Japan that I'd never seen before that are old. And I was like, what? I don't have this.
That's awesome.
I'm like, what is this? Where did you get this? Like, oh my God. And they were like, oh my God, Casper, you're crazy. I'm like, yes, I am. But where did you get this?
What are you most excited for the players and the fans to experience with the game?
Okay, well, if you've ever wanted to know what it feels like to be in the movie, you're going to get to feel what it's like to be in the movie. And I know that from experience. And I know that more than, anybody else except for the other my cast members who would probably say the same thing as soon as they saw this or played it even once. It is just like being in that. So I would want them to come away with having that experience and that fulfillment of doing it, because there's been so many tribute games and so many games that have paid homage and stuff like that, and that's awesome, and I love that, and that's always cool. But I always wanted this, and now I got it. So I'm like, yes, we're doing it, and we're killing some bugs. So I'd want them to do that, and the camaraderie, the friendship, and just I want to kill some good bugs.
Gotta kill the bugs.
Gotta kill.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
That is. And, I saw today in the trailer, I saw they got the tanker bug coming out of the ground, my arch nemesis. And I'm so excited about that. They have all these different bugs. It's just so good. They have the bugs from every movie, plus some of them on, they have the warrior bugs. They have so many different classes now of warrior bugs. And they have bombardier bugs and different classes of these, everything. And they have their bugs. And it's just awesome.
So cool.
I can't even tell you. I nerded out on this.
I love this.
Anybody else could.
And then last question, are there any love triangles?
In the
game.
In the game. I've just been killing bugs, so I don't think there's any love triangles yet. I don't know what they have in store though, because these guys, I don't think they tell me everything, because I talk a lot. And I've given away secrets, and the last one, they're like, hey, Casper, you can't say that. I'm like, too late, I already did. And now they're not telling me everything. Like, they didn't tell me the tanker bug was coming out today, and they came out today, and I was like, what? And I was like, you guys didn't tell me, you're like Casper. And I'm like, So I'd probably be the last person to know.
Thank you so much. That was Casper Van Dien. Starship Troopers, just iconic, and we cannot wait to group up as a group, all of us, and we're gonna kill some bugs.
Well, there you go. There's your triangle. There's a triangle already. But you gotta get 16 people, so you're gonna have to your triangle a little bit more people. It's gonna be a weird triangle.
Thank you so much.
This is why we fight.
You know what to do. Extraction complete. Third wave ready, Command.